everybody, my name is Sai. This is my YouTube channel, I Go By Sai. Today we're going to talk about Chicago.
We're in Chicago, baby. We're going to Zycamp?
Zycamp?
Is that what is it called?
No,
Zacuto?
we're going to Zacuto.
Yeah, there we go. Boo. Oh, here we go. We're coming in.
It's a slope.
Mr. Rod.
Right
All right, thank you. I went to Zacuto's headquarters, got to meet Steve and Jens, two guys super nice, leaders for Zacuto, and I got to do a little segment about hand grips. What we were talking about was the universal Tilta hand grips versus Zacuto's hand grips. Now the difference was screwing the rosettes, and then one was the spring-loaded. We did it, and even though I was really quick at universals, I still lost to Steve, and he was able to put it away and pack it 2 times when I could only do it once. And he even told me, he's like, "You're really quick at this." And I'm like, "Well, you know, I've been using that piece of equipment for a while, and so it's just kind of is more natural for me." But he did have a strong argument for his product, is that it's quick. It's a lot quicker than that universal hand grip. Now, the main difference is being, you know, like when I bought the universal hand grips, they came in a little package, so I got them for a discounted price. I think almost $350 equivalent. But I think that the grips for the Zacuto grips are a little bit more than that. Now, how much more? Then that's more of your debate as a, you know, like making your financial choices as a cinematographer. So really, when it comes down to it, do I really need to spend the extra money for that, or do I want to put the extra money towards a light or something else? What I would say is that if you're doing a lot of slow setup types of shoots and you get the ability to kind of like take your time, the Nucleus M Universals are good. But there's just a few things about them that aren't perfect. But I would say for the Zacuto ones, if you're doing a lot of like documentary ENG type stuff and you got to move quickly from one shot to the next, and you got to throw that in the bag and you go to your next location and vice versa, that's a nice thing to do. I mean, like what I will say is that my normal day to day when I'm doing documentary things is that if I have to move quickly, what I end up doing is I'm just throwing the camera on the the passenger seat and freaking buckling that thing in. I'm not taking the hand grips. I'm not sticking it in a bag. That happens sometimes. However, you will get into situations where you do need to put that in the bag. You can't just put it on a seat like that. But I mean, recently I was blessed enough to work on a project with FX to do a docu-series that's going to come out soon, and when that does, I'll let everybody know which one it is. We usually put FS7s and we just sat them on the passenger seats and then we left. But if we had a bigger kit, we probably wouldn't have been able to do that, and we would have had to put it in the van. So everything comes circumstantial based on the projects that you're doing. But how I see it, when you're a pro, you start wanting to take less risk based upon the gear that you have. So how I see it is the Zacuto hand grips with the spring release, they're really strong and they're quick. So here are the grips. I wanted to show the grips so that you can kind of get, you know, an idea of like how thin these are. The one perk that you're going to get from grips like these is that if you do have to store it, you know, let's say for example, and something like this, like a Pelican 1510, it's going to fit pretty nicely, because what you can do is you can take these apart and disassemble and throw them in. I can already tell after holding the Zacutos that the Nucleus Universal grips are a little bit smaller, okay? They're not as fitted, like they don't have the nice wooden grip. You can't fine tune it when you got the rig all together. But if you need to pack it in something like a 1510 and go on an airplane, I think it's going to be a better choice for that. So I think that gives the Universal a little bit edge on packability, like being small and compact. And also the nice thing about everything being rosettes is if you have other rosette accessories, you can attach it to that. So it's a little bit more of a MacGyver solution. But let's say, for example, you are packing it in a bag. The better solution in my if you're just doing like you're running around and you have it on your shoulder and you're switching positions and then all those types of things, the Zacuto is going to be better for comfortability and prolonged shooting on a shoulder rig, in my honest opinion. Because I've used this before, and say, for example, I had to move from one shot to the other, I'll have this up, and then I'll be like, dang, that position's not really that comfortable. And the problem being is once you're locked, you're locked. You can't move it. In the Zacuto, you just got to press a button and then whoop, then you move. So you have the ability to change your ergonomics while you're in that moment. So those are the things about the grips are a little bit different. So you just got to keep trying different things. Don't just take my word for it. Your comfortability might be different than mine. You might really enjoy these grips opposed to the Zacutos, or it might be vice versa, and you might not even want to get these at all. But there is no perfect tool, and I think that's the most important thing as a cinematographer that you need to realize, that somebody might have something in their kit, but it won't be something that you really want for yourself. Because you just need to try it and then really see how it works. And that's what I would just say. Again, like back to the experience of these two things. One is better for throwing in a bag, and then that's the Zacuto, and custom and comfort. That's how I feel about it. And then for the Nucleus, when I need to just break it down and throw it in a bag and be really quick in a hurry and not really give honestly, not give whether this thing breaks and throws around. That's what that's nice for. Okay, so two different things. I would suggest if you could afford to have both of them, it's not a bad idea to have both types of grips for different jobs. That's why I have different pieces of equipment for different things. That's why I'm using my Fuji and not my Red to film. But just know what type of tools are out there. And I hope that you really enjoyed this video and got a little bit more perspective on what types of grips that you're looking at and thinking about getting. So just keep those things in mind. Anyways, I'm glad that you could join me. I just started this channel, so if you could hit that subscribe button and also hit that like button on the video, and I look forward to seeing your comments, and then we can kind of start a dialogue on different things that you want to hear about. The next video I'm going to discuss is the other part of my Chicago trip, where I was shooting model Je suis Laurent, otherwise my girlfriend. She's a actress, model, multiple types of things of artists. She can even play violin. She's just freaking ridiculous. Anyways, I shot some photographs of her while we were in Chicago, and I'm going to make that video about lighting. One of these lights is actually being used, the light that I'm using right here, right now, is the light I used in that shoot. And I plan to just keep it here for my vlogging, but it's a $130 light, okay? And then $50 a modifier. And then that's pretty much, that was all that was used for that shoot. And then we also used a $400 camera. So you can get great results with not too much money, but just stay tuned to the next video, and I'm going to show you how to do that.